Tone, good
Yes, sir.
evening. It
Good
is
evening.
January 21st. I actually got caught up as that countdown came in. I was looking at something and I got distracted. But you listen, I'm easily distracted. Let me tell you.
Join the club.
The better odds, Joey D, Tony C. Tony, we were talking beforehand. I think there may be something you want to get off your chest.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. I don't watch a lot of NFL, but I've watched enough of the Chiefs games to know in small segments. I watch the same play every game. The Mahomes designed end around that no one can stop. And there's a reason for that because the refs are allowing them, the tackles and the wide receivers, to blatantly hold for a long time on the outside.
Not like the normal NFL, like inside the breastplate hold, like egregious.
It's abusive. It's becoming abusive. And if they allow that to continue, which I don't see them undoing anytime soon, they're unfortunately going to win another Super Bowl. Mahomes, I don't like him. He's very soft. I know he limped around. He hurt his ankle, whatever. But between him and Kelsey, I don't know who I dislike more. Well, Kelsey probably because he's got terrible taste in women. Aside from that, he's just acts like a 12-year-old. He's 40 years old. Just the whole thing annoys me. But if they don't stop this blatant holding, it's become egregious. It's every game.
Yeah,
it's just you see it. Everyone sees it.
And I don't watch much either. And I watched the other day on Saturday, and there was the flop. Like he clearly tried the flop, and some of it's funny. You just have to just shake your head, and you wonder why. How the league, I don't know, it's just baffling. People get frustrated and they, want to say, oh, the fix is here, the fix is there, whatever. You can see that you open up yourself to these criticisms by having it's like almost like that political stuff where rules for thee, rule, you know what I mean?
Not for me.
I felt like G.W. Bush, fool me once, shame on, fool me. Don't get fooled again. The same sort of thing.
The who?
But it's the truth. It's very interesting. Like you open yourself to all these criticisms when there's just what it seems to me for most people, even casual fans, sort of different sets of rules.
Don't get me wrong. They have a great team. Really good.
No question.
Ton of speed, really good wide receivers, really good defense. But him and the other one, and what they're allowed to do. I mean, Kelsey's very hard to cover, but he's another one. He finds he's not the fastest, fleetest of foot. Let's call it what it is. But he manages to find soft spots in the defense all the time. In zones, you can't play in zone. And it's very tough to cover one-on-one. So 6 of one, half dozen the other. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Surely.
But they got to do something about these. The roughing the passer.
I said to a group the other day, I was like, it's like kind of like the Chiefs only have to really play like 2.5, 3/4 worth of football. The way it breaks down, and that's me. That's I'm certainly no expert. I'm not going to argue that, but when you basically have a different sort of game in a game that you don't have to play 4 quarters. You see that they hang around. They haven't scored 30 points, I don't think, all year. And you don't have to. You don't have to score 30 points in a 2.5 or 3/4 game.
Just look at the penalties against the opposition, and you'll see a vast difference. And that makes it that much more difficult to play against them because you're giving up yardage. Basically, everything's a pass interference. Everything's a roughing the pass. You can't go near this guy. He's the golden child of the league.
No question.
Really touch him at this point. I was looking at some clips yesterday of the old Brady clips and quarterbacks from before him. The hits that they would take, you'd see their helmet rolling down the field. Not only wasn't it a roughing the passer, there was no call at all.
Nothing.
I'm talking about hits that Mahomes would never get up from, ever. He'd be finished if he got hit like that one time. I'm gonna see if I can find some of them and throw them up on X.
Of course, it's a different. I mean, it is in a lot of ways a different league than the league that you or I grew up sort of watching, and it sounds like an old guy sort of thing to say. And it's like, get off my lawn, but you don't know. I had to walk 2 miles uphill both ways in the snow. Same sort of thing. Yeah. But it's true. Like if you can just see it, The completion percentage obviously is dramatically different. They're not any better throwers of the football. Let's be serious.
No, come on. Remember Darryl Stingley?
Yes.
He paralyzed somebody. He hit him so hard.
Yeah.
He would be not only would be out of the league, he'd be in prison. Now, if you have a guy like him,
it's like, comparing errors and stuff. They're just you can't do it, and it's it's sort of a shame because they all are still all a bunch of big, incredible athletes. They're tough guys, but no doubt. What are you doing? Hey, listen, you want to add another game to the season too? Guess what? You're going to get more calls like that, not fewer.
That's right. Oh yeah, absolutely. They want to make it an 18-game straight schedule before, including aside from bye weeks, I think.
Yeah. Tony, you did this morning. Get back on track for a second. You did this morning breakfast with Tony. Tony's going to bring you breakfast with Tony. Things he's going to look at throughout the day, early in the morning. So those will be up. That'll be up on X, obviously YouTube, etc. And that's going to be more regular. And we're going to try to improve all the things that we're doing with some more graphics and things like that. But the big key is for anyone watching is simply because they want to get some winners. Tony did all the hard work. You do the heavy lifting. Tony, you put some plays out. What I'll do from this morning, they're already up on X. I'll repost those, and then we're going to talk about tonight's game. So you have college hoops stuff, like 5 or 6 plays here that we're going to look at and talk about. So why don't you take it away?
You got a deal. All right, play number 1. Let me pull it up so I could see it too. You want to? Sure. All right, that's better. Yeah, go to Ball State, Joe.
Yeah, I got to scroll up a little bit.
Okay.
Bam.
These are first half's perfect.
First half.
I'm betting Ball. Okay. I'm betting Ball State plus 2.5 flat. Most -10s there. FanDuel, of course, has a minus. I'm going to assume that's -14 or -12 if he's in a giving mood. You don't need that. Take if you have no other option, take 2 flat, but there's plenty of 2.5s up there to grab. That's a first half bet, by the way. I got a lot of them here. I'm going to take a little shot tonight.
Yeah.
Why not? It's Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday.
We're going to have more than 2 for Tuesday. PC, Virginia. What we got? Under 58.5, you could find it. Under 58 if you can't. Stay away from DraftKings, obviously, under 58.15, -15. And there's plenty of
ESPN, Bet Rivers, Heritage, South Point. I mean, there's a bunch of 58s up on the board still. A few Bovada 58.5.
58 flat is fine. 58.5 -13. Don't go any more than that. Don't lay any more than that. Just in the interim, just to break this up, and my mistake putting it in the middle, but the CLV I talked about this morning, that's for money lines. Tomorrow morning, I'll explain the difference. Well, you know about the money lines now. Point spread's a little different because point spreads, certain numbers are worth more or less in different sports. A move from 2 to 3 is worth more in the NFL than it is in college hoops. Both valuable. NFL, it's 10 and change percent. College hoops, it's probably 8.5 without looking. So I'll go through that. It's a little different.
Yeah, good.
The calculation's a little different, and we'll do that tomorrow. All right, next. Texas Tech. Cincinnati's going to be, this is going to be a second half play.
Okay.
I don't have a number yet, obviously, but just when you see that go to half, just pull it up on your screen, on whatever you got, write it down, and we'll attack that at that time. See what the number is. If it works, it works. Arizona State, West Virginia. That's down towards the bottom.
Arizona State, right here you go.
Yeah, that's another first half. Under, I believe, 63. Is that where we're at on that? Let's see. Arizona State.
Yeah, there's 63s out there.
Yeah, grab the 63.
63 at 15.
You can lay that. You can lay 15. I see 62.5, under 13. That's FanDuel. 63 flat at Heritage.
So here's a perfect example, Toad, of something that someone might be curious about. So at ESPN, it's 63.5 -20.
Yeah, if they can get people to lay it, when you can get, if you're going to lay 63.5 -20, when you can lay 63 minus 14, 63 flat at different offshores. Let's see what else is here. 63 under 14 at a pinnacle mirror. You can't win like that. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and they know it. But if somebody wants to make a bet, especially if you're allowed, I can't bet there, but there's people that bet there. The limits are low, and they're going to take advantage of you because they look at everyone that bets there as a sucker. And if you do win, they'll throw you out immediately. I'm talking about within 3 days, you're done. I didn't last a week there. When they first opened, it was over. It was over in a few days. It was. I mean, I get it. I understand what they're doing, the MGMs and the DraftKings, and really the only two that'll 365 is on the fence. Who knows how long that'll last? They're up and down, depending on how the wind blows. FanDuel, yes, they should not cut anyone off because they make sure that you pay for it. When they know, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay to play. Caesars, forget about it. For a little while, you'll be thrown out. So, I know a lot of guys probably have money offshore, which is fine. Mix it up. Don't be abusive in one spot all the time because then you're going to irritate them and they're just going to throw you out. That's with anywhere, except offshore. They don't care. They have too much business. All right, where are we? Oklahoma State. Okie State. Plus 8.5. I'm sorry, plus 5 first half.
Yes.
That's a bet. It's 5 flat everywhere, pretty much.
I mean, you might have been 4.5.
Look for 5. There's enough out there to get it. Heritage has it. Yeah, Bet Online. You're good. You can get a plus money at Bet Online, plus 5. Take that.
Perfect.
And the last one, the late game, Wyoming, UNLV.
Ooh.
This is for you, the night owls. Under 62.5. There's plenty of them up there. FanDuel, of course, at 61.5 minus over 20. Same thing. He's at really, in essence, price wise, is at 62.5 as well. All right, that's it. We're at the limit here, the YouTube limit. So.
Yeah. And there's certain things you might not be able to mention. As your breakfast with Tony had an
apparently
morning.
Orange Man.
We're not going to mention it. There's a certain 5-letter word. It's a 5-letter word. That's all we're going to say.
That I know.
I'm not going to talk about it though.
I'm just going to say Daddy's home. So how's that?
I think that, but we'll see. We'll see if it gets flagged again. I don't know.
We shall see.
What we'll do is look for the second half play. You'll post that. I'm going to have this up online, obviously, on X in a few minutes. So look around that 6 o'clock window that we'd like to get to. And tomorrow, breakfast with Tony.
Absolutely. Good luck, guys. See you in the morning.
Later.
Take care, bud.